Hi, Julie Rader here. If you like the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. It helps me grow the channel. Today, I am talking about this Scorpio lunar eclipse happening at 15 degrees Scorpio at 10:34 a.m. Pacific time on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. So let's dive right in. At first, I'm going to talk about the energies happening in this eclipse chart, and then I will go through all of the signs, and you'll want to listen to your sun, moon, and rising to find out how this eclipse specifically is going to affect you in your life based on your chart. So this eclipse is the second eclipse ruled by Mars. So we had on the 19th of April, we had the Aries solar eclipse, and that happened at the very end of Aries at 29 degrees. So that was an interesting one because the nodes are in North node being in Taurus. The eclipse happened, the new moon, sun and moon being at 29 degrees of Aries was happening close enough that it was an eclipse, yet an out of sign eclipse. And Aries, the ruler of Aries is Mars, and the ancient ruler of Scorpio is Mars. Mars is the planet. So Mars is the ruling planet of this eclipse season. I am filming this in the middle, right in the midst of eclipse season. And when the eclipses are ruled by Mars, especially two back to back, there is an intensity. And everyone I talk to is talking about this intensity they're feeling in the air. I mean, things are moving faster. I find my schedule is getting busier and busier. And I keep having to remind myself what Marie Folio says. Marie Folio says, she doesn't do overwhelm. She heard that years ago. And I'm like, you know what? That's what I want my mantra to be as well. And when it comes to eclipse season, it takes a lot of extra discipline to stay with that commitment of not doing overwhelm, because energy is moving rapidly at this time. And Mars is not only a planet of war and aggression, and that's what it's known for, it is also the motivator. So for me, when I'm thinking, okay, I don't do overwhelm, and I've been talking about this for months, what can I do in my life to remove the overwhelm? What can I remove from my schedule? What can I remove from the garage, the clutter? What can I remove so that everything can run more smoothly, so that when energy speeds up, I can just stay in the flow with it? And so that's one thing I suggest that you look at in your life. As the energy speeds up, what is your go-to, and what are your non-negotiables? So for me, my non-negotiables, I definitely want to make sure that I still have time with my children. I want to make sure that I can get a good night's sleep every night, because if I don't, then I can't think clearly, and I'm moving in a way that doesn't make sense anyway, because I have to do things over again, and I'm not operating at my clearest, sharpest capacity. So think about in your life, get to know your non-negotiables, and then from there, then you can decide what you need to eliminate to make your life run more smoothly. So remember, eclipses, especially a lunar eclipse like this one, things may be removed for us if we don't take action already. So remember, the eclipses will work us if we don't do the work to prepare for them. So this eclipse is happening just a few days after the Mercury GEMINI. So Mercury is retrograde right now in Taurus, and on May 1st, Monday, May 1st, Mercury and the sun conjoin. And this is called GEMINI. So when Mercury and the sun are really close together, it's called combustion. And sometimes the rays of the sun are so strong that it burns out the characteristics or energies of another planet that's really close to it. However, Cazimi is like, you know, that the middle blue part of a flame that if you put your finger there, you're actually not going to get burned. That part that is so illuminating. That's what Mercury Cazimi is. And so anywhere, so it's happening at 11 degrees. The sun and Mercury at 11 degrees. I forget the exact seconds, but so it lasts for a few hours. It's happening at around 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on Monday, May 1st. And usually a few hours before and a few hours after, we're still in that Cazimi energy. Anything within 17 minutes of, you know, degree wise. So basically from like noon until like 8 o'clock on Monday, there's this magical window of just where if you allow yourself to slow down, if you give yourself some space, then you may receive some clarity. You might hear a chicken right now laying an egg. Found this out really recently, actually. My son taught me this. He was reading about it. I used to think that they made the sound laying the egg because it was painful, but it's actually the mother hen singing a song to the egg that it's laying. So I love that. So this is just a reminder what golden eggs are you going to lay? What golden opportunities are waiting for you this Mercury Cazimi? Because this Mercury Cazimi is going to be within the energy of this lunar eclipse. The Mercury is still going to be close enough to the sun that we can still get that energy. So we also have on the 9th, we have the sun conjunct Uranus. So this is happening at 18 degrees, and this is bringing in some of the energy when we had the eclipse happening last November, I believe, when we had the energy of Uranus with that eclipse. So look back, what was happening in your life in 2022, October, November time, because this energy is coming back around again. Also, another date to look back. Look back, what was happening in your life 2004, 2004 springtime, and into 2005. What were the themes going on in your life then? Because that is another energy. That is dealing more with Pluto, but that's another energy that is coming around right now. So thinking back, because we can learn so much from history about what is going on right now in our lives. So some other things that are going on with this new moon. There are some other energies that don't involve the moon or the sun, which make an eclipse, but are happening on May 4th and May 5th, which are really adding to the vibe of this eclipse. So we have Venus. So Venus is the ruler of the sun, and what makes an eclipse is what makes a full moon is the moon opposite the sun. So the ruler of the moon this eclipse is Mars. The ruler of the sun is Venus. So Venus, we talk more though in a lunar eclipse, the ruler of the moon, which is Mars. However, Venus is really important here as well, being the ruler of the sun. Venus in Gemini is square, making a more challenging aspect to Neptune in Pisces. Now, when Venus is square Pisces, and that same day, we have Venus in Gemini sextile Jupiter. Now, the Venus sextile Jupiter is really, really positive, but it's bigger than life. The biggest thing is to make sure we're not overdoing. When we combine these together, Neptune, Jupiter, Venus, it is bigger than life, but it is also doing things in abundance. Too much of anything is not a good thing. So really be aware this eclipse season that you're not overdoing, you're not overspending, you're not doing in excess of anything. And then also on the eclipse, we have Mercury conjunct Vesta. So this is really interesting. Let me make sure I have that right because I'm trying to read my handwriting. And but Mercury conjunct Vesta. So having Vesta as part of it, there is this that's happening on the 5th. Yes, Mercury retrograde conjunct Vesta. So this eclipse having Uranus, Taurus, Scorpio, Vesta, this is very much about our financial situation. Look at your finances. Maybe you'll get during this Mercury cazimi some insight on where you're spending money, where maybe to cut back, where to make investments, where to cash out of investments. Really, money, investments, huge part of this eclipse. So make sure that you have things in order in your personal life. Let's go through the signs now. Aries, this is happening for you in your 8th house. Remember, this is ruled by Mars. Your ruler is Mars. 8th house is a couple things. One, it's other people's money. So really, for you especially, look at your investments. Look at anything dealing with money that is not your own and take stock, take inventory. It is also a psychological house. This eclipse could give you, and along with this Mercury cazimi, if you give yourself time to go inward and do the work, you could get some insights and some huge psychological, emotional, mental breakthroughs. Very possible for you during this eclipse. Taurus, this is happening in your 7th house. This is all about relationships. This eclipse for you is really, you're either in or you're out. It could really solidify your commitment, having Uranus there. It could be a sudden realization that it is time to move on. So really sit back, take inventory, and if you get some clear insight coming through, follow it. Because this eclipse season, same thing. If you don't work with the eclipses, they will work you. Gemini, this is happening for you in your 6th house. So looking at your health, making sure you're up to date on any appointments or just anything you need to do to make sure that you are getting enough sleep, that the food you put into your body is nourishing, that you're getting exercise. And also for you looking at your day-to-day routines, because this eclipse could shine a light on it, or maybe there could be a disruption in your day-to-day rhythm that makes you change things up a bit. Cancer, this is happening for you in your 5th house. So 5th house is children, it's romance, it's creativity, entrepreneurship. So for you, Cancer, you are really, take a look at your relationship with your children, or maybe even your inner child. Also, there could be a whirlwind romance that comes to you, something of that nature as well. Leo, this is all about home and family this eclipse season. So this is really about you looking at your home life and your work life. Is there balance there? What needs to be adjusted so that you can still put the energy you need to into home and family, and at the same time be working or growing your business? You may have an opportunity or a desire to move to a new location or to sell your home or something of that nature. Virgo, this is happening for you in your third house, all about communications, also siblings. So, really check in with your siblings this eclipse season, heal any wounds that have been there. Um, you may feel like you're wanting to learn something new. Maybe you want to check out my moon to Met. It's a course bringing astrology into yoga practices. So that might be something, or anything you've been wanting to learn or to teach, or writing, communication. This is what's coming up for you. Maybe you find that it's time for you to get more organized in your organization, your communication systems. Libra, this is happening for you in your second house. This is the house of money. It is the house of your possessions. I highly recommend you go through Marie Kondo your entire home, your wardrobe. If something does not feel valuable, if it doesn't feel like it brings you joy, or it has a stain on it or a rip, get rid of it. Work with the energy and get rid of the clutter. Really take inventory of what you bring into your home, what you have, and look at your finances. Get your finances in order. Scorpio, this is your full moon. This is your lunar eclipse. You are doing an entire makeover of your life. It is time for you to say, okay, what is working in my life? What isn't working in my life? This is your full moon eclipse. You may decide that you want an entire new career path. You may want a new relationship. You may want to move to a new country. This eclipse could bring massive change for you, especially if your birthday, or if your sun, moon, or rising is anywhere around 15 degrees. So if your birthday is right in the middle of Scorpio season, so that would be um, pretty much like around the first week of November, like the 2nd through the 9th, something like that. Then this eclipse is really going to be falling on you, or between the 10th and the 20th degree of Scorpio. If anyone has planets in that section, personal planets, especially sun, moon, rising, Mercury, Venus, Mars. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. But if you have a lot of Scorpio energy, you will be feeling this eclipse the most. Massive changes in your life. Go with the changes, go with the flow, be courageous, and take the leap. Maybe not on the eclipse day, but just know that things are changing for your highest good. Sagittarius is happening in your 12th house. You may feel more at this eclipse like going inward more. You're not going to feel like being social and being out and about and around a lot of people, and that's okay. Follow that. Write down your dreams. Your intuition is going to be even stronger. You might find that you're just getting these downloads of information. So go with that. You may feel the desire to go on a retreat or to retreat. All of this it's in alignment, it's in the flow. Capricorn, this is happening for you in your 11th house. Look at your friendships. There might be friendships that are ending or changing, the tribes of people you spend time with. And most importantly, look at your intentions or your goals. They may change. You may find that you no longer have the same dream you used to have. So this eclipse may bring awareness or clarity on a new path for you. Aquarius, this is happening in your house of career. You may find that you wake up and all of a sudden you realize that you want to go on a completely new career path, or something may be happening in your career. You may be forced to switch careers or to make a change. It's all in alignment. Trust in the process. And it could happen. Uranus is involved as well. It could happen quite suddenly or seems like out of the blue. Finally, last but certainly not least, Pisces, this is happening in the 9th house, the house of international travel. Also learning. Pisces, you may be interested in this moon to mat, especially if you're a yoga teacher or if you have an at-home yoga practice. If you're a yoga teacher and you're wanting to add another dimension to your yoga teaching, this would be a great course for you to it's an online course you do on your own to bring into your classes. You may start feeling the urge to travel internationally, to get out there internationally, um, or to just really reconnect with your spiritual self and your and just some higher form, whether it's God, angels, just divine beings. This eclipse may have you really tapping and also getting downloads of information. Thank you so much for listening. As always, please like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what videos you would like to see. And if you're interested at all in Moon to Mat, would love for you to join. It's you do it at your own pace. It's a course that you do at home. It has different yoga practices you do. You can find out what elements in your practice and in your chart and in your loved ones are most dominant, and how to replace missing elements, how to anchor and balance out your energy using yoga and astrology. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next video.